Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Sosbans and Sidesteps podcast. Joining me, Big M, as always, Mr. Huw Griffin, and our man on the ground, Bengie. How are we doing, boys?
Delighted, Matt. As always, this is my Monday night routine. I spend my whole Monday thinking about what I'm going to say on here, and then God knows what happens from there.
Yeah. I think we do have to kind of mention for any audio listeners that we are all currently wearing different Scarlets bobble hats. Mine and Hugh's are the same, and Bengie's are slightly different. Sale on in the shop. You got to spoil yourself. So Huw and Bengie went out and bought something really cheap. I bought this really cheap about a couple of months ago. That shows you where my mindset is.
Yeah, so Ben, you've got the red training hoodie. I did think about getting it.
It is very comfortable.
Is it?
I have to say, yeah. I wasn't expecting such good quality, but I ordered this online because I was worried that my size would sell out in the shop. But they had my size anyway there. So yeah, 20 quid. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. I got the away jersey. I know we've already seen yours, Matt, on the pod loads of times.
I got this, yeah. I got the whole man away now.
Yeah, I haven't got that.
Someone's rolling in there.
Yeah. It's a summer one, I think. It's quite light.
Yeah.
Keep you warm.
It's lighter than last year's. Last year's was quite heavy and more fitted than those, but it's comfortable wear over a hoodie or something,
Yeah. And of course the missus is now asking me why I'm not buying her clothes all the time.
Oh,
well, if that's Scarlets badge, now you can buy it then.
Yeah, I said you can wear the jersey if you want. She said she's not interested.
Yeah. Well, what you can remember is you're doing a bit at the minute, isn't it? A new jersey every week in the year. You've got to stock up.
Obviously. Exactly. And I've only got 5 Scarlets jerseys. Like, that's not very many.
Yeah. So for all the people who don't know, what are your handles? Where are you doing that little bit too? Because it's quite good to see all these different jerseys coming out.
Okay. Well, if it's a Scarlets or a Wales one, I'll repost it on the Rap TikTok. But on my TikTok, just search HG Rugby. Wherever you look for stuff, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube or something, it's a YouTube short, and it's a rugby jersey of the week. So every week I do a different rugby jersey, and I've already done the Scarlets retro one, so I'm going to give it a little while before I do another Scarlets one. But like I said, I've got 5, and that number is only going up. So there will be more Scarlets jerseys on that series.
I think we'd like to see one a month before the end of the year, please. I think that's only fair. That's the only way you can really do it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, by the end of the season.
Yeah. If you go on Vinted, have you been on Vinted?
Yes, I have bought a small fortune of stuff on there.
But like Scarlet stuff, it's literally like 3 quid for a Scarlet stop on Vinted. It's mad the amount of Scarlet stuff there is on Vinted.
I got the Cougar one at Christmas time.
I got a Cougar one. I love Cougar stuff.
Yeah, it's proper embroidered stuff, not this printed on stuff, It's so good.
If there's anyone I'd want to get the old Rhino, the green one. I'd love to have that journey.
We wanted to get the black one. I think it was for like European Cup or something. I've been looking for everywhere. Oh, it's grey. It's like black and grey.
Have you got the rhubarb and custard one?
No.
No.
I think probably the favorite one I want to get that's ugly is the chocolate quartered one we had for Europe about 15 years ago.
That's brown one.
It's disgusting, but I just want it for the sake of it.
Have you been following that account, Scarlets on this day?
Yeah, I am.
Great. Yeah. Shout out if you listen to this pod. I don't know. I'd love to know how you do it because it seems like a nightmare, but it's awesome. Like, if anybody doesn't follow it, just search Scarlets on this day. He's on Blue Sky as well. It's just clips, and I think he did one of the chocolate and red jersey era the other day as well.
They posted a win against Toulon today.
Yeah.
Apparently that was 2018 on this day. What a great win that was.
Yeah, we've had some good memories against Toulon.
Yeah. And the ball stands are open on the ends, which was amazing.
2 of my favourite Toulon memories at the park both involve Lee Halfpenny.
Yeah.
There was one where he had a kick to win it in like overtime, and they've asked him to kick it from like Lucker, and he's taken it on and he's missed, and he's gutted. He's like had to be consoled on the pitch. And then the other one was the one that we won, where Toulon have gone for a drop goal in overtime, and they've missed, and he's caught it and booted it out and given,
yeah, that was that one. That was from today.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I think that the first one over there where Lee Off when he came over playing for Toulon, I think that was the first time I ever got the missus to go to a Scarlets game. She loved Lee Off, Benny. She loved his legs and ass. So it was a great excuse. Like we were really quite low down in S10, back end. So you got a good view when he's coming close to the touchline. So she was well happy.
Show with the warthog. Should we going down there?
Yeah, exactly. Especially because he's your doppelganger.
Yeah.
She'll be like, I've got enough of that at home, cheers.
He needs to grow his hair out though.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. See, I don't think I could. I'm his double. I think I would have booted Josh McLeod to the side by now. All right, I think we might want to get on to some actual rugby talk. This
better than Christmas tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
We should have probably done this off air, to be fair. Okay, so last game of the European group stages, 38 points to 28. Bonus point win. Before the game, if we said bonus point win, we'd probably snapped your hand off. So it's once again, we're coming out of a bonus point win, or we're coming out of a really positive performance, and we're desperately disappointed. So I don't know how you boys are feeling, but obviously you'd have seen through the chats as the day was progressing on Sunday, and we found out we were going to be away, and it looked as though the home game would have been against Bath. I was just livid. My head was boiling. So, what are your boys' takes on the overall performance then to start with?
Well, I want to get Benji's view because and I quote, last time he was on the pod, he said, "I have never left Parker Scarlets happy." So let's see if that's still holding true.
Right. So this game, I haven't had a chance to watch back, right? So the only experience I've got is actually being there. And I mean, you saw the fans on TV, I assume, too, with the drum and everything.
Yeah.
They were the loudest ones there, right? Even first half when we were winning by 31 points to 0. And when we were leaving, everyone was going, "Oh, it's almost like we've lost." That's how it felt. It felt like we were walking out of a loss because we were so high after the first half. Everyone's smiling. Half time, people are buying drinks. Oh, this is great for us. We're back. Yeah, Scarlets are back. And then look at that second half. And someone said to me, actually, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna pull the foot off the gas second half now," and exactly what happened.
No, we were joking in the group that as soon as we scored the fourth try, it was in the first half, and we were like, right, Dwayne will be changing the halfbacks now.
Yeah.
Game
It's not the first time he's done it though, is it? We did it against, was it Black Lion?
Dragons.
We scored the fourth try, and we just stopped playing. I don't understand it.
So I've got a bit of a stat for you. On 70 minutes, what was the score? There's a quiz.
70 minutes.
I think it was 38 to, I don't know, is 21?
No. It was either I want to say 7, but I got a feeling it might have been 14.
Yeah, so
12.
It was 38-14 on 70 minutes. They didn't score their third try until the 74th minute, and they scored their last try in overtime, I think.
Well, it depends on what clock you're watching. The clock I watched, it didn't score till the 76th. So
okay, still
it depends on anyone.
So it's a classic case of how the game ends. Kind of defines how you remember the game. But the fact was that on the hour mark, it was 38 points to 7. So the vast majority of the game, we dominated them. But it's just because right at the end, it kind of unraveled quite a lot. It just meant that the feeling was a bit rubbish, unfortunately.
Someone did say if it was 10 more minutes in that game, we would have lost that.
Yeah,
the way it was going. The momentum was swung, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the game was 90 minutes long. We'd have made different subs and things. So
yeah, and the same as their fourth try. Like, I'll be honest, I got issues with all the tries. It was a bit of the game's over. Just let him get over the line. Sort of.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was the attitude, but you can see it wasn't full, backs against the wall, sort of pedal to the metal, sort of defending.
But I did
So-
notice the players come over after the match to the North Stand. They just look disappointed, even though they've won a bonus point win. None of them were smiling. I spoke to Max Douglas, and he just seemed quite, just disappointed that they didn't keep it going.
He had a bit of a tough second half, Max Douglas. He made a couple of misreads in defense. I was going through watching the game back this afternoon, and he made a couple of misreads, and they kind of picked him off a couple of times. So I can imagine he was a bit personally disappointed. Obviously, he's been great all season, so not hammering him, but he did have a bit of a disappointing second half. But just to mention the Van fans again, they even on social media they've been class this weekend. So if anybody who hasn't seen it, so Van are obviously from Brittany in France, which is northwest of France, and Brittany's they view themselves as Celtic. It's it's a bit like Cornwall, I guess.
Cornwall.
Yeah, and they've got their own language. They've got an anthem, which is to the tune of the Welsh national anthem. And they made a big deal about playing us. They were like, "Oh, it's a Celtic derby." They posted loads of pictures of signposts pointing to Llanelli and that. Yeah. And they were bang up for it. And there was Van fans tweeting the Scarlets supporters group "Can we meet up with you and stuff?" So class. Their French rugby culture is a lot more like football culture in the UK in terms of just the intensity of the fandom. And like I said, they bless them. It looks like they're going to be one and done in terms of playing in the top 14. But I was retweeting all of your snaps, Benji. They look like they had a class time, and are very, very welcome guests to the park, from my opinion.
Yeah, well, we went down quite early, about 2 hours for the game, and they were walking around the stadium with their drum, with their flags, just soaking it in. And I noticed a few of them had Scarlets hats on, badges, but they had obviously the Van kit on, and they had all Scarlets kit as well. So they'd obviously been to the shop, got some merch as well. So it's quite nice. It was, and then we went to the bar, which was the Tana Bank bar, and the drum was going the whole time we were there, half hour, just completely singing. And they were singing that song, and people were like, "Why are they singing the Welsh anthem for?" But they were like, "Why is they singing their French?" and literally they were like, "Oh, I think they made their own anthem up to the tune of the Welsh anthem." We're like, "Ah, right." So it was quite, and they wanted pictures with everyone. It was a good experience. It's best Way fans. I mean, they were better than the Dragons Way fans, but
yeah, happily take them back is what we're saying.
Yeah, especially if we beat them.
Gloucester said about us, wasn't it?
Yeah,
same thing.
Yeah. Well, isn't it lovely? Disgusting. Right. Shall we talk about some actual stuff and that happened in the game? Because like I said, because the way it ended, everyone's all negative, but it did for the first 35 minutes, it was awesome. And kind of I feel like that's been coming. I think we saw everything of the Scarlets in this game. We saw confidence. We saw backs moves. We saw set plays.
Individual skill.
Yeah, we saw individual skill. We saw our game plan that we want to play, our low possession game plan that we want to play. But then we also saw what happens when you bring the subs bench on in the second half and things. So yeah, I don't know. Before I get into all stats and clips and stuff, what do you guys make of the first half when we were good?
Well, it's not really much more to say. We were good. We couldn't put a foot wrong, really. Just literally from the word go. The first kickoff, and we've complained about Cowdo's exits and our exits in general all season, and he puts up a beauty of a box kick, and you got, I think it was Blair Murray and one other under that ball contesting. So it just was the flow of the game. It was really great.
And I felt like we just had confidence, ball in hand, which we haven't really felt. You were saying last week, we tried to go through the middle, but we try to go around the edges this time. And I think we've got the players to do that.
Shall we have a look at
Blair Murray's try? That's all I got to say.
Let's do Tom Rogers' try first. I'll queue up Blair Murray's one in a minute. Right, I hope we're not going to copyright strike for this week.
Did you last
Okay,
week?
everybody watching YouTube, you might be about to be a bit confused when a bit gets clipped out. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get away with it this week. So, Tom Rogers try. So obviously, he comes off a set play, line out just inside our own half. See, this is what I like. This is when we back ourselves. We can do great things. So we've gone wide, right? And this is when they've got their winger, their left winger, in the bin. So we've gone right. We'll target that side then. So it's gone a couple of passes across the pitch. Actually, I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Tame Plumtree here. He's running an out to in line, and he's going to preoccupy at least 2 defenders. So he takes them in there. Now the ball's gone behind him into the hands of Eddie James. Now Joe Roberts is going to do the same thing. Out to in line, preoccupy some defenders. And then it's the pullback pass, soft hands of death, from Eddie James to Blair Murray. So just bear in mind where Blair Murray's coming from here. So if I go back to the start, Blair Murray's here. Okay, he's not on the wing. He's all the way over here. And he runs round and it gets pulled back by Eddie James. Eddie James is amazing at timing his passing. The best timing of a pass in the team, perhaps in Wales. And then Blair Murray's just got around. He's got a lot of work to do here because all the way around them. Dummies a man. And then out to Tom Rogers. And then Tom Rogers is just taking the piss from here. Just a ridiculous showboating finish that he didn't need to do. And more of it, I say. Confidence is dripping off Tom at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah. He's a completely different player to what he was last year.
Yeah, in attack, he is a completely different animal, and I think we saw it from game 1 this season. He's just, I don't know. I think he's finally realized, the talent he has.
Yeah.
So, let's show the world. And to be fair, he really is. And I mean, that I know we talk about the Scarlets a lot in here, but that performance he had against Australia for Wales is just another level.
Yeah. So again, he still can't play 80. Which is a bit of a worry. I don't know whether there's something underlying going on
He always gets pulled up, doesn't he? He always has cramp or something.
But 62 minutes, 57 meters, 8 carries, 5 kicks, 4 defenders beaten, 4 out of 6 tackles, which is good in the backfield. 2 passes, 1 try, 1 dominant hit. And he just always goes forward as well. He always uses his footwork. You never see him get smashed backwards. He's always manages to
It takes always 2 people to take him down as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking very positively about him, obviously, because he's a great talent. For me, something I saw in this game, I don't know what it was, but I thought his positioning off in the backfield, he just weren't quite on the money. Like a few times when he came forward to try and collect a high ball, he was a good 5 meters off.
Same as Nickel last week. Or...
He always wasn't playing.
He didn't play last week.
Yeah,
against Gloucester.
He wasn't even on the bench, was he?
No.
It is a weird one with his fitness, but with it talking about him positionally, it's the same as when I think he moved onto the right wing for just where boys are moving around, and he was so far high up that the kick in behind, I think it got them right into the corner. So
they kicked to 50-22. He was too high up, but it's kind of one moment in the game kind of let him off, to be honest. But he was a bit of a positional. Didn't see it coming. But speaking of kicking, so I clipped up a few examples of the Scarlets kicking game because this is something that went really well in the first half. It fell apart in the second half, and I'll explain why. But in the first half, it went really well. And that was our attacking kicks. So, like I said, I just pulled up a few examples. So this first one, obviously, our attacking kicking game is something that just didn't exist last season. It's the big thing that's changed this season. Caldor is now the top kicker from hand in the URC, or I think he was at one point anyway. So this is really great from Caldor here. So obviously, it's a bit of a caterpillar, sets up for the box kick, hangs it high, contestable. Blair Murray gets underneath it. Now, to be fair, Van have a bit of a shocker here, but Blair Murray gets the best of it and sets up another rock. I like this. Caldor then double kicks and puts it in behind, and he's turned them again. And then the chase is amazing. And we force Van into a kick that gives us a platform in their 22, or just outside their 22. I can't remember exactly if that one leads to a score or not, but it's an example of us kicking on the front foot, something that we wouldn't have done last season, and it gets us somewhere. But the thing I want you to pay attention to here is look who chases the kick. Look at him running.
What a guy.
The Warthog.
It was the same for the opening kick in the game. It was Blair and Marnus. You know, we call him a Warthog because he is an animal. He's an absolute beast on this rugby pitch.
They got outrun lions, Warthogs. They're fast creatures. Next, another double kick. Another double kick. This is in our own 22. Ball goes out to Tom again. Again, confidence dripping off him. Kick pass to Ellis Mee. Again, this is while their wing is in the bench, so there's space out there. Ellis Mee gets it, puts it on the toe again. And Fafita maybe would think that he should catch it, and unfortunately it's a knock on. But again, that's us kicking our own Sims and being attacking in our kicks. Here's another one. It's a starter play that's actually gone wrong. The ball's gone to ground, but Ellis doesn't hang about. So again, it's Ellis Mee. Puts it on the toe straight away on the outside of the boot, and he's got it into their 22. And again, look at the chase. So Ellis is after it. You got Blair Murray in there as well. And then I think Joe Roberts comes into shot there to make the tackle. And then the van guy panics. Josh McLeod's there as well. Offloads it forwards. Your career's over. Thanks for coming. It's all finished for you. And then Joe Roberts again involved using the left foot, left-footed clearance. Wins, how many meters is this? 50, 60?
Stupid. More than that, looks like.
Yeah, again, no hesitation. Just boom, left foot. That's why coaches love left-footed kickers.
Let's call that our 5. So that's 50, 60, 70, 75.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So quickly notices the space, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like before we would have tried to run it from there. Yeah. But he's gone like, nah, let's just get it down there. And then finally, Blairberry's try off a return kick.
I probably watched it about 30 times now.
It's just about.
I don't know about you, Mark. When I was watching this on telly, I was like, he scored. Wow. Didn't expect it. Caught me by surprise.
Don't think anyone did. Not to beat like 5 players, was it?
Yeah, we call it 5.
2 at 1 goal.
Yeah.
It was just like this is what we're seeing with Blair, and the same as with Tom as well. Tom could probably do the exact same thing.
Confidence growing.
Yeah, it's just once you get that bonus, and this is something that I absolutely love Ellis Mee for. It doesn't matter if he gets the ball in space or with someone on him, he will try and get out of it. He will go forward, which is brilliant. But you look at what Blair doing today, and you can match that with what Shane Williams did against Scotland. Back I think it was like 2010 or something, where he just danced
against France. The one that I was thinking of, where he beats, I think it was Trandug on the wing or Shabal.
No, beats a couple of players on this one. Because I think Wales are battering down the low, turned it over or whatever. They've kicked it long, and Shane just takes it and just goes, "Nah, I'm off." And it just seems exactly that similar type of run that we used to see from him so regular. And I'm not saying in any manner that Blair is the next Shane Williams or whatever you want to think, but to have a player who can read that sort of space in those angles, those timings is phenomenal. To get past the first one, simple. The second one takes a bit of skill. To do the rest, I mean, you've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to be able to execute it to a high standard. And by God, he did.
Yeah, and then just the rest of the stats for the game, like this is what we didn't do against Gloucester. This is our game. 48 rucks in the game. That's how we want to play. We're not interested in phase play. We're not interested in long phases of possession. We're interested in getting pressure through kicks and scoring quickly. And we scored obviously quickly 2 Josh's tries. Now the top scorer in the Challenge Cup and 8 tries for the season, Captain Josh. Now,
but let's be honest, how many of them are his tries? Well, that's the real question.
He's grounded.
No. Tries.
No, I mean, how many of them belong to the Warthog? Because let's be honest, he's stolen every single one of those goal tries.
He did score in the last game, though.
No, he scored against one. Yeah,
he scored the last, but so that should have been his third. That should have been his hat trick. That is, we should have been walking off the field with Marnus having a hat trick and selling the game, not Josh in the stand getting his head rubbed. Oh yeah, I stole a few tries.
Yeah,
I only joking, love Josh.
Again, territory, happy to play with the lesser territory, happy to play with the lesser possession in the 40s for both. And just generally solid set piece again, well, to begin with anyway. But then if we start talking about the second half then, so the thing that caught my eye straight away, talk about the attacking kicks. We just stopped doing it in the second half. Kicks by Scarlets players, 11 by Cowdor, 5 by Tom Rogers. Both of them were off by the hour mark. And then no one else has made more than 2. Charlie Tickham's made 2. Huw Lloyd has made 1. Evan Jones has made 1.
Yeah, I mean, I saw completely different earlier because I actually thought I saw Huw Lloyd in double figures for kicking. I was like, oh, wow, happy days. But no, down to 1. How can you be a fly half that only kicks once in a game? I don't understand. Titcombe was on for less than 10 minutes. He's kicked twice. And that's when we had even less possession than we had done for, the previous 70 minutes of the game. So, I know we spoke about Lloyd leaving last week, yada, 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 wants to be Wales 10. You're not going to be Wales 10 if you don't kick the damn ball. You're not going to play international rugby if you do not kick the corners, kick the space. It just doesn't happen. So, yeah, it's interesting what's going on there and how we are going to move forward, without, obviously Sammy with us for a little while.
Yeah.
There's going to be certain games we're going to need a kick. So he needs to be told that, really.
That's the thing. They just need to be told. And I guess the leaders on the pitch were Cowdor and McLeod, and they were both off. But it's just like, surely they just tell them during the week. I'll tell them now. Kick the ball.
Kick the ball.
Yes.
It's almost like that leadership went off, I felt.
Yeah. I wonder who was the captain after, Cowdor and Josh did go off.
It's a good question, actually. I hadn't thought of that, but that is a good question.
I'm thinking Lousy
because he went off
before.
He went off.
Oh, he went a crazy one.
Yeah.
Fafita, possibly.
Yeah, you're talking for Fafita then, I guess.
Landry?
Joe?
Nah, I wouldn't back Taylor.
You and Nicholas? Captain.
Oh, and I mean, he's got experience, I suppose.
He's had quite a few games.
Yeah.
Sean Evans?
that would be left field, but yeah, you're talking a guy who's been around for quite a while. I think he's been with us a decade, if not longer. I'm not quite sure how old he is at this stage.
Was Archie injured then? Is that why he wasn't on?
No, just non-selected after Gloucester. I don't think we've had a reason.
Punishment or something.
I don't know. I don't
think he deserved to be punished.
No, it's not a punishment.
It's his first game proper start in a good few months.
In bad conditions, I might add. Especially with the youngest backline in history, losing his 10 within 12 minutes of the game. So a lot of odds stacked against young Archie in that game. I don't think he was necessarily dropped. I think they've probably looked at his errors from that game or decision making, saying you've gone let's have a week, let's sort yourself out and come back for Edinburgh.
The selection is just way off. Why he started him against a big team like Gloucester? I don't understand that. Started for this game more than that game.
Yeah, but to be fair, Cowdor's played really well in this game.
Yeah. Even touching on Cowdor there, we have complained about his kicking. We don't think he's been quite where he has been previously, but it seems that he has played himself into a bit of form now, so that can only benefit us.
He's played a lot, so
yeah. To be fair, Huw Lloyd's kicks to touch off penalties were very good. He was getting a lot of distance.
And he got right in the corner for one of them.
Yeah,
it was a brilliant kick.
Can I talk about the scrum for a little bit?
Yeah, I was going to say, because the other thing that went wrong in the second half was the set piece went to badness. And we got shoved off our own ball twice. But if you I'll let you talk about it, Mark. If you look at the front row subs that we had on the bench, just 2 senior academy boys.
Yeah, I mean, if we just talk about the scrum in general first, obviously haven't had a great deal of love for Alec Hepburn this season, scrummaging wise. Around the park, he's brilliant. Fair play to him. If you were looking for that someone who can chop tackle like Dan Lydiard, I think you want to chop tackle like Alec Hepburn. He was literally around the ankles for a lot of them. McLeod must have been licking his lips when he saw that in training for the first time. But honestly, that first scrum we saw go down, the replay clearly shows that the tight head, changed his bind and bound onto the arm. So, wrong decision for there. I thought Alec held up really well in this game. He was really solid for, large chunks of it, which is brilliant. And now if we're talking about the subs bench, I mean, Sam O'Connor is senior academy boy, but he's also third choice. And that is with Kems and Alec Epping fit. So, he has to be able to perform. If he wasn't able to perform, then we should have pulled another loose head or not let Wyn Jones go. It's as simple as that. Sean Evans, again, he's brilliant around the park, but he's not a hooker, when it comes to scrum time. He's really not, which, is disappointing and I think is one of the main causes of our scrum going backwards. He gives so much weight away. And normally, if someone's giving weight away off, it's 5 kilos, that's nothing. I mean, I think we're talking maybe, 15 kilos per year is the difference between him and Marnus, something like that. Just a sheer size difference between the two of them. So, that is massive. And then obviously, not having played hooker your entire life, not having that constant experience, because he's never been a constant starter at 2 anyway. So, that experience there is lacking. I mean, there's times where, in the last year or so, he switched back to 7 for us. So, that there's that issue in there as well. So if we go on to the other one who, I thought held up quite well, is Gabe Hawley, a guy we signed from Ealing Trailfinders in the summer. Welsh qualified as far as I'm aware. He's played for Brunel Uni in the Bucks Rugby Leagues, not Super Rugby though. So this year was his first actual year of playing senior men's rugby. Been playing with Llandovry. I think he had a run out in the friendlies, the development games, possibly, if I can remember.
He was in pre-season. He played against Leicester.
And obviously, you will attest to this. He is a big boy.
He's big.
And if you look at the tight heads we got, he's 5th choice. So, you've got Henry Thomas, Hardy O'Connor, Sam Wainwright, Archer Holtz. Then we've got Gabe Hawley. So, we're down to a 5th choice tight head as it is. So, that tells you the state of affairs here. But fair play to the lad. He has stepped up massively this season. And obviously, me and you here, we spoke with Scott Snedden and Tom Phillips a couple of weeks ago. And, Scott's opinion was, those first 3 months of when you transition from playing boys rugby to men's rugby is absolutely massive. And, for Gabe, that has only just happened now at 21, 22. So he's literally within 4 months of basically starting senior men's rugby, he's come on as a tight head and done a job. Fair play to him. This is, second appearance off the bench for us, in a competitive game.
Play?
I want to say about 18, 20.
I'll tell you. Hang on. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
Keep talking. So, yeah, Gabe looks to be a brilliant prospect, a brilliant find as well. I think Cubby was...
Played 19 minutes, according to this.
Yeah. So, I think Cubby was the one who was attested to finding him, same as Ellis me. So, well done on that.
He's done well this season, hasn't he? Cubby's on some real gems.
To be fair to him, deserves his credit.
He was having a little bit of stick last year. I remember people saying, why is he in that job? And look at him, he's picked, we've got the Warthog.
If you're watching Cubby, I'm going to have some suggestions for fly half recruitment in a minute. But not for this pod. Oh. Not literally in a minute, figuratively in a minute.
Did he play on Saturday?
Who?
Scrum half.
Oh, he's 10 we're talking about, boy.
10.
Okay.
We'll come on to Varney talking in a minute.
We'll come on to Varney.
It's because you mentioned it today. I was like, is he on about?
We'll talk about Varney in a second. But I do also just want to talk about the other thing that we really struggled with. I won't dwell on this for very long. Mark, we kind of discussed this on WhatsApp. Is Von in the second half? They wreaked havoc with our defensive line, and they were employing this really cute tactic, weren't they, to kind of get the better of us?
It's borderline obstruction, and I mean borderline. Some refs will give it, some refs won't. It depends on how how each refs the game. Essentially, I've seen quotes around going, I could blow my whistle at every single ruck, and I'll find an infringement in there, and I'll be technically correct. the job of being a ref is knowing when not to blow the whistle. So I think this is one of them situations.
Yeah, so I'll just like show some examples. So dummy lines obviously are a thing. So this is off a set play. So Van were running a lot of dummy lines, but what was happening was that the dummy runner was always making contact with the defender, and it was just nudging the defender away and making the carry for the next bloke a load more space. And it was really successful. They did it really well. So this is off a line out. So this is like a wide pass off a line out. So it's coming into contact here. Our centers are up here in the middle. So you've got the dummy runners from Von, and you can see it's gone into contact with the first defender here. So this guy's taken out. I think it's Eddie here. Next guy. So they flooded this channel. Oh no, it's Eddie. Sorry, we're now on Eddie and Joe in our centers. This guy.
There's Jared, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the 12 has got the ball here, and the ball goes out the back. But you can see that dummy runner who was with him. They've now taken Yoan, Eddie, and Joe all at the same time. And that's created a ton of space. So they run into that space. To be fair, Joe does an amazing job to swivel and recover here. Joe actually brings this guy down. Maybe or maybe not. But he comes down anyway. And then the play goes on. And watch Tane here. So Tane's going to appeal for obstruction here. So goes through. I think it's Callum Mahoney off the ball, runs into Tane. They play the ball away from the ruck. Watch Tane's arm goes up here. Like, I've been taken off the ball here. But obviously, it's that the referee's never going to blow for that. A referee's never going to blow up for that. And it goes out wide. They go for a ruck here. It resets. And then the next dummy runner doesn't get anywhere near the ball, but he just checks Fafita off the ball. So Fafita's running across here. So oh no, Fafita's here. Sorry. That's this guy. And they're 23 here. He's running and he makes contact with Fafita here. So he goes through and he just checks him there. So the ball's now going to go wide. It goes through. And now Fafita's got to chase and cover that, but he's been delayed by the guy who checked him. So now it goes round, goes through. And Fafita does eventually get across. There he is there. But if you think he gets there a second sooner, if he's not been checked by that defender. And Von go on from here and score. And to be fair, their post-contact meters, they're a big pack and they made their size advantage count in that second half, which they didn't previously. But it was just, we really lost the battle of the gain line in the last 20 minutes of that game. And you got to give it up to the opposition for being streetwise, I guess.
Yeah. You really do it in that manner. To be able to play that way without being pinged, essentially, takes a lot of time and effort on the training field. But I haven't watched a great deal of top 14. I've watched a little bit of top 14. I don't understand how Varna bottom. I really don't. Like, even looking at this stats, it doesn't scream this is 14th place team. Don't be wrong, relegation battle, fair enough, but to be dead bottom, I think it's a disgrace.
Especially some of the players
the performances. Well, let's be honest. We should be trying maybe to pick up one or two. Rayazi would be a nice addition on the wing. I wouldn't say no to him.
Back.
Yeah, we called him out in the preview, didn't we? Rayazi. He was their top carrier, and I think beat like 7, 8, 9 defenders. But another guy I want to ask you guys about is Stephen Varney. So he started for them, and he wasn't on the pitch when they scored most of their tries. What did you think of his game?
Well, he got charged down 3 times, I think.
Twice, but one was under advantage, so they kept the ball anyway.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see much from his game that impressed on Saturday, but I was, I haven't seen on TV, so might have missed some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think anything amazing, but I didn't think, oh my God, this 9 is having a shocker. I mean, you can't judge a player off a single game. He's been involved with the senior setup at Italy for what?
And he's been brilliant with Italy, isn't he?
He's only 23. I didn't realize he was only 23. I thought he was like 26.
He's a baby. Like, you would ask him the question, oh, he's Pembroke. Josh McLeod is Pembroke. Oh, I wonder if they, in similar school or something. Like, 5 years between them. But it's unreal how young, Vonnie was. I posed this question rather, in an imaginative world, if we were to bring Varney over, could we somehow convince him to drop out of Italy's Six Nations squad? So, he could qualify for Wales in time for the next World Cup. But let's be honest, he's going to end up being a centurion with Italy and, quite possibly one of their most capped players. So, go.
I watching the game back, I specifically watched him the second time, and I did like a bit of what I saw. Yes, you're right, Ben. He did get charged down, and one of the charge downs was poor. But he sniped really well. He does you can just think I'm mad. He does the DuPont thing of he picks the ball up and takes a few steps before he passes it. So he doesn't do what Cowdor does, which is just pass off the base all the time. He kind of engages. He's always engaging defenders around the fringes, and
I make him guess a bit.
I think that would work for us. I think that would benefit our game. I think that suits our kind of keep ball alive strategy. It's just I didn't realize how young he was. Like I said, I thought he was older, but the rumors are obviously that we're signing him, and if
he did a good interview on SOC.
Welsh language interview
in Welsh
as well. So I think he could work for us. It's just if Cowdor is retiring, that would leave Evan Jones as our most senior scrum half, and then you got Archie and Stephen Varney.
It would also be Varney as the more senior, given his experience level. But this is something that I'm messing with in my head. Obviously we're only allowed 20% of our squad to be NWQ, which at the minute works out like 8 players. If we get a bigger squad, it'll be 9 or whatever. But someone like Stephen Varney, someone like Javan Sebastian, they have come through our system and just chosen to play for another national team, because obviously they weren't in the purview of the Welsh squad. Should those players still be classed as NWQs, being as all their academy product? Varney was here through to 16, and it is literally just because he's got Italian heritage that he was able to jump to Italy. Should Varney come, I personally don't think that he should be included in those NWQ numbers, because he played till he was 16 here. This is
it's an interesting question, and we could have a bit of a broader point of, if a third of the Welsh squad for the Six Nations doesn't even play in Wales, why are the regions compromising their squads in order to support that? But that's a question for another day, I guess.
Question for another day.
Anyway, anything else we need to talk about from this game? I feel like we've done it to death.
Benches again, massive issue. Timings. I mean,
I agree. It was when he brought them on, and in the capacity he did, because I don't think they should have brought him on and simply just trickle him in. But I don't think some of them had the best game when they came on. But there was so much. They took off like McLeod, which he was obviously a big part of that. The way they were playing. They took out all the experienced players like Gareth Davis, etc.
It's like I understand taking off McLeod. You want to wrap him in a bit of cotton wool. We need to make sure that he's going to come through for Edinburgh. I can get that,
but it was all within like 3-4 minutes, I think. If I noticed, it was just wasn't.
There was
a
quick change. I think Craig Taylor and Sean Evans were on quite soon.
Yeah.
Now I know I messaged this at the time. In terms of the front row, it shouldn't go down that progression. Marnus should have been the last starting front row left on that pitch. It was a case of Sam O'Connor. He should be playing these games. He should be coming on with at least 20 minutes. That's what he should do. And so he comes on with 20 minutes. Then you give Gabe, the 15 or whatever, and then Marnus can have a rest for the last 10. So there's a progression with that front row. Back 5 forwards, I don't have a major issue with, because Craig coming on doesn't drop anything. Jared Taylor coming on, yes, we lose the leadership aspect with McLeod, but if he comes on for Plumtree or Via, then I don't see an issue. It is obviously the backs. So,
it's not the first game though that's happened, is it?
No, it's not.
We're not learning from that.
Well, yeah. If you look at our last 3 games, you got the second half against the Dragons, you got the first half against Gloucester, you got the second half against Van. What do those 3 things have in common? No Cowdor, no Sam Costello.
Yeah.
that is, it is what it is at the minute.
There's a bit of a pattern, isn't it?
Yeah.
These guys got to have game time, right? Which
I
thought,
and kind of go on. Sorry,
I was just about to say, like, it's on Saturday. I felt like those guys did need experience, and like maybe to. I think I tweeted about it. I said like, oh, I'm glad they had the time and experience to like learn from that game, but not when we were having a possible home fixture in that cup on the line.
No.
I just think maybe if it was like a one-off game where we weren't fighting for anything, but I think those changes just ruined our chances of getting a home.
Yeah, for me in this instance, unless you've got an injury, there's no need to bring Nicholas on at all.
Yeah.
And if you're talking the halfbacks, you're the halfbacks wrong. You bring on Charlie first, you let him get settled with the established 9, and then you bring the other 9 on. You've done like I didn't understand bringing Evan Jones on first, and then Charlie afterwards. I didn't understand that, but
nothing was gelling after that. Yeah.
No, it really weren't. Like I said, 2 tries conceded in the last 4 or 5 minutes, whatever it was. It just tells. Okay, so
just kind of bigger picture, I'm kind of okay with, like, at the end of the day, we won the game, and you're right, Ben. These guys did need game time.
Yeah.
So if you take like the 1,000-foot view, I'm kind of all right with it.
I was okay with it in that sense of like, I think these guys we've been talking about them having some experience. A few others came on and need experience, so I'm okay with the changes, as in like they should have had game time.
It's the manner.
Yes, the manner that they came on, and we went in that direction when we could have hosted a home tie, earning Scarlets money basically at home. That was disappointing. I think I wasn't the only fan to sigh at the end, even though we won by bonus point. Just because of that, the way he started, the way he ended. So
still, at least our centres are class.
Our centres are class. And we got an even classer one to come back into that as well. Well, I say to come back into that, he's coming back in on his own with a little kid. So we'll get onto the Edinburgh talk in a bit. So I think that wraps up one game. Now, Huw, you're going to take on this next one on your own, because I have secluded myself from talking about this team for this week. So I'm not even going to say their name. You crack on.
So obviously the other team that we follow on this podcast is Brython Thunder. They had another game against the league champions Wolfhounds from Ireland. They lost the first game at home 48-0, and they lost the second game in, I don't even know where in Ireland it was played. Was it 57-5? Something like that.
Bad.
The 5 was scored in like the last couple of minutes. Now, I went on a bit of a rant last week, and I don't want to rant again. So I asked the women's chat what was good, and obviously being the women's chat, I didn't get 2 replies. I got 200 replies. But so we agreed the scrum's good, the set piece was all right, and the centres are good. And Hannah Marshall got game time at 10, and she does look like a good attacking option. But when you've scored like 10 points in however many halves of rugby, it's difficult, and we want to support this team, and we are going to continue to support this team. We're going to continue to talk about them, but results and performances not really going our way at the moment.
No, I mean, I spoke about this, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I thought I saw an improvement in the performance against Edinburgh. Then to go and have the double header against the Wolfhounds, I think it was just really bad timing for our season. I think that's knocked us all the way back down to our lowest point. I really do. I could see a lot of positives in that Edinburgh game, even though it was a loss. But got a week off now, so it's a lot. 2 weeks to the next game. So I really hope. Like, we don't even know how long these girls are actually in training for. Are they literally like the boys playing for Llandudno? Are they literally having 2 training sessions a week, then a game? Because if that's the case, it's no wonder they're in the position they are. But yeah, disappointed is I think a positive word after these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that cuts it dead right there. Now we can talk on some positive news. So Scarlets Academy is back in Junior Academy, I should really say, on that front. So the RAG Under-18 Championship that we currently hold the title for kicked back off last weekend. Being as there's 5 teams involved, there's always one bye week. RGC still have a team in this competition. So our first game was at home against Cardiff. Last season, we just about beat Cardiff on Yams Park, 44 points to 40. So, we're expecting a tough game. And I don't think anyone was going to expect this result. We were all banking on a win. You've got the majestic, Carwyn Jones at fly half. You had, the leader, Griff Watkins, Captain Ocean Williams, these, standout people in this age range in that squad. So you knew they were going to fight every minute. But to come away with a 51 points to 19 win is just outstanding. And if anyone goes on, social media, search up Llandovery College PE, they had some people, on the ground. They've taken some video. It's not a great deal of it, but it shows just some of the action from the game. And the bits they show, the boys are relentless. And I mean absolutely relentless. They do not let anything up. That ball goes forward into a tackle. They are there. They're resourcing that ruck and getting it gone. It is with such a great intensity. I am so gutted they haven't got this game, and I'm hoping they do get other games live, or at least telecast wherever later on, because it was just another thing. Massive credit to everyone in the academy who's currently working with these. We know Tom Phillips is the under-18s head coach, so plaudits there. But yeah, so great start to the RAG competition. We're defending our title. You're on mute, but come on.
No, I'm not. You're on mute. It was. I checked. I saw the score pop up on the Sunday. I was like, wow, didn't expect that. So that was a nice surprise. Oh, and also Griff Watkins scored, and I remember him from last year because I remember saying to you, "That's a good centre's name, Griff Watkins. He'll go far."
Yes, and obviously he captained Llandovery College in the schools final quite recently. Oh, he is a really good player. So could very well see him involved with our senior academy come the summertime, and who knows, he might be turning out for Llandovery or Carmarthen Quins in Super Rugby Cymru next year. All to see. So, do we have anything additional before I jump down your throat to the community game?
I was going to ask if Catboy is back.
That died like 16 years ago, I think.
Just because I can see like a little tail going up now and again.
He's gone now, but he was here a minute ago.
Yeah, you look quite evil on the camera. I thought, like,
that's Thistle, aka Hugh's girlfriend. Okay. Can I move on to the community game then?
Go for
it. I think Hugh's blanking me now. Okay, as always, we start in Super Rugby Cymru. Only the one game this weekend in the entire round, a rearranged fixture between Llandovery and Pontypool at Churchbank. And Llandovery came away with a 38 points to 27 win. That puts them now top of the table. Boys we had involved in this one, Morgan Jones, Ed Scragg, and I put S. Evans. Why have I put S. Evans?
Steph Evans.
Steph
Evans. Jesus. Oh, yeah.
Any reports how he did?
Well, he didn't score a try. He didn't get any points. So
he played for 40.
To be fair, he was up against Scott Williams. So
was he?
Yeah, Scott played for Pontypool in this game.
Really? How did Scott get on?
No idea. I really should read the match reports before Wednesday's SRC pod.
I saw Ewan Shenson commenting on the Newport team. So he probably said, "Is this not defeating the point of the SRC? The number of regional players who are getting game time in it at the moment."
Okay, if we're going to go down this window, it's going to take a while. So I think I'm going to have to skip it for now because we're coming up to an hour anyway. So I'll leave that to one side. So fixtures this week is the Super Rugby Cymru Cup competition kicking off. 2 pools of 5 teams, so 4 fixtures, and then the top of both pools face off at a final in the final week. So Llandovery at home to Cardiff, and Carmarthen Quins travel to Ebbw Vale. Okay, down in the Premiership, boys, hide your ears because this is not pretty. Newcastle Emlyn going down 73 points to 7 away to Merthyr. Narberth 36-5 loss at home to Bargoed. And Llangennech going down 66 points to 28 away to Pontypridd. Ouch. Fixtures for this week: Llangennech at home to Narberth, and Newcastle Emlyn host Brecon. Okay, I'll go through the cup competitions because we had a bit of joy in there this time around. So Division 1 Cup, Hendy won 12-5 against Rydvelyn. That puts them through to the semi-finals. These are all quarter-finals now. So if you've won, you're in the semis. Cardigan through with a 2019 win over Club Rugby Cymru Caerdydd. Tycroes winning 26-12 away to Fleur de Lis. And Llangadog just letting us down, losing 41-17 away to Rumney. That's the Merthyr's Rumney. And Division 4 Cup, Neyland winning 30 points to 24 at home to Llanilleth. So congratulations to all of the teams flying the flag in the semi-finals. We look forward to supporting you in the final when you get a live cast on WIU TV. I'm looking forward to that. So, Championship West now, Armandford against Tartar Steel was postponed. Haven't seen a reason for that. Probably frozen pitch or possibly players. Who knows? Crimmick 43-17 losers away to Glenaith. Llanelli Wanderers 25-13 winners away to Kenfig Hill. Fixtures for this week: Crimmick at home to Armandford. Llanelli Wanderers at home to Gosainon. Division 1 West. Barryport 31, Tenby 26. Tenby having a bit of a bad run at the minute. St. Clair's 55-3 5 winners away to Pencloud. Vellenville going down 32-24 away to Pontylight. You cannot say that or you will not be welcome back there. Not within the region. You cannot support them. I don't even care if your best friend, your mother, your brother, your father all play for them. I don't care. You cannot support them on this pod. Aberystwyth
I'm a Bond boy, ain't I?
Don't. So Aberystwyth 27-15 winners away to One Eyelid. Fixtures this week: Aberystwyth at home to Hendy. Vellenville host Pencloud. Kidwelly host that demonic team from just over the border, Pontarddulais. Barryport travel to St. Clair's, and Tenby host One Eyelid. 2 West Central, Brynaman with a cracking 69-19 win at home to Meister Celtic. Brynaman get to travel to Aberavon Quins this weekend. 2 West, Betos winning 32-13 at home to Milford. Carmarthen Athletic 27-25 winners at home to Lycha. Nancaredig going down 47-14 away to Lampeter. And Fishguard winning 8-7 away to Larne. Nice results there. Whitland with a bye, 9-team leagues. Yay. Fixtures of this week: we got Fishguard at home to Lampeter, Larne travelling to Lycha, Milford at home to Whitland, and Nancaredig hosting Betos. Carmarthen Athletic with a bye this time. 3 West, Aberaeron 17-10 winners at home to Haverfordwest. Tumble 26-3 winners away to Army United. Kevnathan winning 29-10 at home to Pontyberem. Fixtures for this week in 3 West: we got Army United at home to Kevnathan, Cardigan hosting Llangadog, Llandalo travelling to Haverfordwest, Pontyberem at home to Aberaeron, and Tycroes travelling to Tumble. Not much longer, boys, not much longer. 4 West A, Newcastle Lemon Dragay winning 21-15 at home to Pembroke Dock Harlequins. Crimmick Tyru 33-22 winners away to Langham. And St. David's winning 29-17 away to Llanybudder. Fixtures to this week: we've got Narberth Athletic at home to Neyland, Pembroke at home to Llanybudder, Pembroke Dock Quins at home to Langham, and Newcastle Lemon Dragay travelling to St. David's. Crimmick Tyru with the bye. 4 West B, Furness 38-7 winners at home to Binya. New Dock Stars, who's New Dock Stars? 30 points to 15 winners.
Are we top of the league?
Saran. I'd have to double check. I haven't looked at the table. You can't be far
We win
off.
every single week, so we must be.
So Llanderby 40 points to 7 winners away to Pantavunan. Pennebank going down 14-29 at home to Fall Bay, and Pontiates beating Tregaron 31-24 at home. Fixtures for this week: Binya at home to Pantavunan, New Dock Stars travelling to Fall Bay, Pontiates travelling to Llanderby, Tregaron at home to Pennebank, and Trimsaran at home to Furness. There were a couple of games in the Carmarthenshire Plate in the youth leagues this past weekend. Well, they were scheduled for this weekend, but I haven't seen any results yet. So we'll keep an eye on that and we'll bring them to you as soon as we can. And that, my friends, brings the end of the community game on the hour mark, I believe.
Hooray!
Hooray! So that leaves one bit of business left. I
Wait,
think.
before we do, we've had a letter.
No,
Oh,
no, we haven't.
We have.
I checked your letterbox this morning. There was nothing there.
It's arrived. It's just arrived on my lap just this moment.
By pigeon.
Yeah, by a pigeon. It's from Jack from Lucker. He says this: Dear Sosbans and Sidesteps, well, we've seen that your precious Scarlets can run this pointless attacking backs rugby at home, but can they do it away from home? Or more specifically, can they do it at a neutral venue? We'll find out on April the 5th. And I'll see you there. Brackets there to be defined. Yours, Jack from Lucker.
Well, first things first, we don't even know if it's April 5th. It could be any date that weekend.
Well, that's
We
my
really
point.
don't know.
4th and 6th.
Yeah, that's my point, is that we don't know when it's being played. We don't know where it's being played. We don't know what time kickoff is. We could be playing against penguins in Antarctica for all we know.
Basically, aren't we? No, I think we should find out this week. I mean, let's be honest, you should be finding out this week. You know, they've got a game they have to schedule. They need to get that shit sorted straight away. So hopefully we'll get some news.
Can they play on the Sunday? Because I saw something saying that because it's European game.
It's weird. It is because it's European games. There's like things like you've got to be able. You got to. I don't know if I don't know if it works for clubs within the same country, but you've got to be there within 48 hours of kickoff. And if that's the case, that puts us in with all the Swansea City football stuff. 'Cause I know they play on the Saturday.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of logistical things. So, I reckon this will go to the brewery. I think it would be devastating to go to the brewery. I reckon if you can't market this game and get more than 8,000 people, or you market this game and you think you're only going to get 8,000 people, or that's your target, then you're a sinking ship.
If we're playing them a week before.
Double header.
Yeah, it's a double header.
Yeah.
It's a proper double header we can build on.
If it's easier, if they're really up against it and they can't find anywhere to play the game, we'll play it at the park. It's fine.
We'll use the away changing rooms. That's fine.
It's fine. We'll use it. And they moved one of their games to the park already this season, so it's not like it's unprecedented, is it? So if you're in a tight spot, we'll do you a favor.
It's the same as, and I don't mean this to be negative towards that team over the bridge, but you've got a better chance of getting a bigger crowd if you play it here. You know what I mean? You've already got the regular 5,000+ that come to watch the Scarlets. If you're saying you're watching the Scarlets at Parker Scarlets, you're going to get them back. You're going to get the extras who are coming for the derby, the extras for the European action, and then obviously you've got all the Ospreys fans that come over. So that's going to be an extra 3,000 to 4,000. Hopefully they'll pick up a few more as well. So realistically, if they play it over here, you're talking a minimum 10k gate. At least I'm thinking a minimum 10k gate. Whereas if you're going to the brewery, your max is going to be 8,000. Now, I know there's issues with that, and I don't expect them to play a year. I don't expect them to even, to
Can
even
they do that 2 weeks
consider
in a
the
row,
idea.
though? Can they sell 10k 2 weeks in a row? That's the thing.
Yeah, I reckon you
Because
can.
the same venue, same match.
It'd be an interesting case study, wouldn't it? Because I've wondered, maybe is it worth trying to do double headers over Christmas and things, but do it home and away back to back. So it's interesting to see what happens with the interest for it. Obviously, one being a European knockout game is different, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it'll end up being played in Bridgend.
It's got to be Bridgend. It's never going to be the Knoll. We know the Ospreys are never playing the Knoll ever again.
Is it? Yeah.
And obviously St. Helens as well. It's not even a build-in site yet. It's still pre-build-in site. So that is what it is. So focus on us now. We've got Edinburgh coming. Edinburgh coming this Saturday, the 25th. Another home game, another vlog for Bengie to make. I bet he's happy with it. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to say is we've lost our Wales boys. We've seen on socials today.
They went on Monday.
Today.
Monday. So it's Monday today. Yeah, it's Monday today. Yeah.
So the WIU have posted all the different days. First day is admin day, so all the photos and the kit and all like that. And as far as I'm concerned, second day can be back to freaking Regions Day because they don't need to be with you right now.
But Edinburgh will lose a few players as well, so
but Edinburgh are not as short-staffed, shall we say, as we are. I mean, quite frankly, we played our 5th choice tight head on the weekend.
Well, that's the one I'm most worried about. If they don't release Henry Thomas back to us, we've got Gabe Hawley and a volunteer for the tight head.
Quite literally, if we go through senior academy, the next 2 players in line, I haven't seen pull on a shirt in anywhere this season, which is Will Couch and Alfie Evans-Fetchy, even if they're still even evolved. And then the one below that would be Jack Pritchard, who was first year senior rugby, so he's 18, might still be 18, 19 years old, training with the under-20s. So do you really pull in someone like that? I mean, we'd have to pull someone in, like, surely, unless they release him.
I think Archer Holtz, you're going to have to take 2 paracetamol and grit your teeth.
Yeah, same as we don't really know what's going on with Sam Wainwright either. He took a knock, back in December, I think it was, and we haven't seen or heard any news on him since. I mean, quite possibly because we had Archer come in, but yeah, we need at least one of them boys to come back or a ringer, because there's no way I feel comfortable with playing an 18, 19-year-old tight head.
Yeah, it's not safe.
No way. No.
Yeah.
It's not in the professional sport. Like, if you were saying this was, Division 1, even Championship, Premiership, I'd go, I'm not happy about it, but he's on the bench. If he has to play 15 minutes, he has to play 15 minutes. But not at this level. Just no way whatsoever.
It's times like this you see the budgeting issues quite, once the Welsh boys are gone, we've got no one back up, have we?
Yeah, I mean, I do think this is kind of unique in the fact of we've lost 4 frontline players in a specialized position, and our 5th seems very capable. Our 5th has had minutes, but when you go in deeper than 5th choice in a set position, you're thinking, you should be in your senior academy already. Any further.
But, you have to remember that Archer Holtz was signed as emergency injury cover for Harry O'Connor.
Yeah. Is he injured?
He was on the injured list on the last team announcement.
Yeah,
because he wasn't on the team sheet at all, was he, on Saturday?
No, it's the same as we haven't heard anything. So if this doesn't pop up in a press conference, which I believe is tomorrow, the Tuesday, then quite frankly, I don't know what's going on.
The only thing that kind of gives me a little bit of hope is you would have thought that someone would have tipped someone in the press off about it already if it really was panic stations. If it really was, like, we would have seen like Simon Thomas or someone tweet like Scarlets are going to be down to the bare bones. I'm going to turn on Twitter in a minute and see that that's exactly what's been tweeted. But so fingers crossed on that. Other than that, we should be all right in the pack, at least for starting wise. The backline, like, based on how our starting backline just gone, I can see why they've all been picked, because they're electric. But unfortunately, that means that we're picking up the slack as a region, which means that we're going to be again searching for volunteers to play against Edinburgh.
We always seem to be picking up that slack, though. They always pick, the whole back line.
I do generally think we're going to be picking one of the, I don't want to say the weakest squad, but most inexperienced squad we've possibly ever seen.
Johnny had best be fit. Johnny, you're having a ibuprofen and singing a song in your head and getting on with it, please.
I hope so. I hope Johnny's back.
So if we just run through the back line that we can possibly pull out, so obviously we've got Cowdo at scrum half. It's going to have to be Charlie at 10.
Yeah.
Then centers, Johnny is fit. We're going to say he's fit because he will be, with Max Page in the centers. We've then got to create a back 3 out of Huw and Nicholas, Huw and Lloyd, and Steph Evans.
Do you think Jack Davis could get a game?
I think he'd be on the bench.
If any player gets released, you'd think Ellis Mee is a contender to get released.
Yeah,
Ellis Mee is definitely the one I was thinking of, but we don't know what's going on in Gatland's mind. Quite.
Well,
I know
this to me, he's walked through the door, and on the door, Gatland's got a little marker that says 6'4" on it, and this means he's walked past that, and Gatland's thinking, "You're going nowhere, mate."
Yeah, basically. So, like, if I saw Me as Gatland, and I'm thinking, I've got trouble with fullback. You've played fullback. You're playing really well. I know he's playing really well on the wing, but I wouldn't be surprised of him to like, oh, you know what, you were going to be a fullback. He did it with Cam Winnett last season when it should have been Tom Rogers' turn to have a crack at the 15 shirt. So I wouldn't be surprised for it to happen again. But yeah, it is.
I'm not being funny. Like, our whole back line has been picked by Wales, and everybody who hasn't been picked by Wales has been signed by other regions. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Part of me feels like someone should owe us a player. It should be someone else's job to find us someone.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. So if we come to the bench then for this game, next scrum half in line is Rodri Lewis, who he's come from over the border, and by over the border I mean the only one that matters, Lacha. Turned out for the Welsh academies. He's been playing fairly frequently with Carmarthen Quins, so to pull him in if needed.
What position does he play? Sorry,
he's scrum half. I know we got Evan Jones, but I'm thinking
we've got 2 fit scrum halves, so that'd be okay.
Is Archie fit? Oh no, he's just dropped on it.
Well, we've still got Cowder anyway. We've got 3 fit scrum halves.
Yeah, I got Cowder.
I'm just listening through the ones we've got, boys. This is what it is. So 10. Like, this is a really, really sticky position because the only one I know of is Stefan Jack Jones, and he hasn't played a great deal of rugby with Llandovery. I think he's playing.
I think we have to do a 6-2 split just because we haven't got the options.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
outside. We might be naming 2 scrum halves on the bench.
Quite possibly. There is obviously Jack Davis that you've already mentioned. There's also Gabe McDonald,
Gabe McDonald's been getting a lot of name checks here and there, a lot of game time.
Yeah. He's he's developing. He's 20 years old. He's a big boy himself. I think he's like 6'3". He's not quite 100 kilos, but he's not far off. So that is one. Yeah, I don't see any other outside backs who would really come to it. I mean, Yori Badam, who we spoke to, he's been absolutely electric wherever he's been. In the last year, he's had debuts with, obviously the RAG, then with Wales 19s, with his home club Tenby, with Carmarthen Quins, with us against Exeter, and then with Wales under 20s. And he's taken everything by the horns and just running with it. He's been absolutely incredible. I am not saying that is deserving enough, not even deserving enough, or that's a standard enough to get into this team at the minute. But as an outside back, I'm thinking he's the only one to really pull in. So
it's a good opportunity for someone young, isn't it, to step up?
I would love to be able to say that we could have Jack Davis at full back with Ioan Nicholas on the bench. But because of the issue at 10, which we would have been facing this anyway, because we all know Sammy was going with Wales, I think it's going to be a case of Jack on the bench. And it's hard. It is really, really hard looking at this game. Like, I don't even think we need to focus too much on Edinburgh.
Well, I normally do like a crib sheet on the opposition, but it's difficult in this situation. Firstly, they're in the same boat as us in terms of how many players they're going to have missing anyway. So Duan van der Merwe and Darcy Graham aren't coming down for this game, for example.
Ooh, no Darcy, happy days.
I'll be very surprised. The thing about Edinburgh is that they don't go away from home. They didn't win a single away game in the URC last season. I think they might have beat Zebra, was the only away game they won. And
they lost against the team over the bridge as well.
Yeah, and they haven't won a single away game in the URC this season. And they've got 1 losing bonus point, not even a try bonus point. They've got 1 losing bonus point in 4 away games so far this season in the league. In the Challenge Cup, they beat Van away. they've scored 7 tries away from home so far this season in 4 games. So, you know, they're all of their stats are middling, but it's literally like at home they're good. I think they're unbeaten at home, like they beat Leinster at home. But then away they couldn't beat an egg.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then in terms of like their stats, they're not particularly good at converting line breaks. They're not very good at offloading, but their tackle success is good. But honestly, it's kind of like the teams are going to be scratch teams, and it's Edinburgh away from home. So it's very, very difficult to do any kind of preview on this one because we just don't know what
It's
we're in
hard to
for.
predict, isn't it?
I mean,
very hard.
I am really, really hoping for those centres for Johnny Williams to be fit, and then obviously with Max Page, we've seen this combination a few times this season. Haven't won a game together yet, but they were together up in Glasgow, so we know the standard of performance we put in that game, so that holds well.
Yeah.
I really do think if we can just get one of the back 3 boys back, I think that'd be amazing. And if no one recovers, then surely they have to give us Henry Thomas. There's no way they can justify keeping him, especially after. And I'm going to say his treatment in November, because to not play what is the best scrummaging Welsh tight end available when you're desperate for a bloody win, and you go with a kid and someone who's still not fully established, it just boggles my mind. So yeah, that's my stance on that. Give us Henry Thomas, give us one of the back 3. I'm not bothered which one it is, just give us some.
Yeah, I agree. I think if we get Henry Thomas back and we get a back 3 player back, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But is that going to happen? Possibly not. Probably not.
I wouldn't
Definitely
say
not.
so.
They probably called up like Max Page to train with them during the week as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did last time, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've even said that during the fallow weeks that they're going to be calling up, locks and back rows. So I'll be honest, that's probably going to mean Plumtree and McLeod possibly going with that. So that's gonna be great preparation for Ulster and Munster. But yeah,
we shouldn't be even playing this game in this window, the Six Nations window. Just doesn't make any sense. Not for like our chances. We've been doing well, and now we're scratching players basically.
It's not just that. I understand it in England. I understand it in France. Yeah. Obviously, I know it's a bit different in France because you got Toulouse and Bordeaux who contribute heavily to the national team. But
they've also
got millions.
Yeah.
But usually you're contributing 2 or 3 players. If you're exceedingly good, you maybe get 4 or 5 if we're talking over the board in England. So losing that many players doesn't massively decimate your squad. When you go up to 7, 8 or more, it's like what more can we do?
Well, obviously, like Edinburgh lose a lot as well. Obviously, Edinburgh lose a lot, but they've only got 2 pro teams in Scotland.
Yeah.
And they've got, by the way, significantly bigger budgets than us.
Well, not significantly, but a bigger population. There's a lot more when you're talking basic numbers of the Scottish sides. But yeah, saying that, we're still gonna go. We're gonna go out.
Yeah, we're still gonna win anyway.
And we're gonna smash them. Another 5-pointer. That's what it's gonna be.
6 wins on the bounce at the park. Ben still won't be happy. But he never is.
I probably won't be happy. No.
You know what?
I think I'd be happy if we win this game.
The only way he's gonna be happy is if we win in the dying moments. That's the only way.
Any old win is fine. 3-0 is fine in this game.
I think the only time I've literally left our park happy is the Bulls game, because I didn't expect us to win, and we won in the last minute, which was great.
Here's a question for you. You might have seen it already because I tweeted it earlier. Scarlets have scored the most 3-pointer penalties in the URC so far this season with 20. How many has the next most 3-pointer taking team kicked?
Let me know when you want the real answer.
As in points, no.
As in how many successful penalties?
Oh,
we are high on 20. So where do you think the next one drops?
Yeah. I'm gonna say 12.
Ooh,
13.
So unlucky in so many different
ways.
But who
though?
We've got nearly twice as many kicks at goal as anybody else. We're the only team who's still doing it. We're the only one keeping the tradition alive. Everybody else is just going for the corner every time.
Yeah, well, that's good
Is
to
it
see.
Brython?
Sharks.
Oh, okay.
Sharks.
Because they've
I don't
got
know
George
what that was.
Hendricks here who can
Yeah.
kick it over from
Kick it anywhere.
Yeah.
From the car park.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that, teams are being more positive, being more attacking, looking for the try. But quite honestly, where the change in the held-up rule came in, I honestly didn't expect it. I thought it would have gone the other way. I thought we'd see a hell of a lot more, 3-pointers, drop goals. But no, it hasn't worked out that way. So, yeah, different. Okay, so we're going to have a scoreline.
Ooh. You go first here.
15-13 to the Scarlets.
I would
I think
say.
it's going to be a bad game. I'm just going to put it out there.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be any fluidity to it at all. Right, let's say 21 points to 18 to Scarlets.
Ooh, remarkably close to mine, 21-16.
Yeah.
So we got what? Scarlets by 5, Scarlets by 3. And what was yours, Huw?
Scarlets by 2.
Oh, it's always Scarlets by 2.
I think we're going to be winning by more than a score with 15 to go and be clinging on.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, I really do think if we have Johnny and Max in that centre partnership, I do think we have more than enough to cause a lot of damage. So yeah, that's what I'm banking this win on is Johnny and Max having Stokemas.
Yeah.
Okay. Your Lloyd's been kicking well as well. Posts.
Yeah.
So
they played to the boy. He can kick a goal.
3-pointers.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need.
Do we have any other business? There's no other business, and we just saw Huw give himself a concussion with how fast he shook his head. So, as always, thank you all for listening. We will do it all again next week. If you made it this far, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want. Just thank you for listening, and thank you boys for joining me once again. And we look forward to celebrating another massive win against Edinburgh next weekend. So, from me and all you, bye for now.